Panda Warriors, it's Lula. I'm here with a wonderful pick-a-pile reading. Before you are 5 cards. I am actually not doing piles. I am doing cards. I don't know if each one will be short and sweet or if it'll be long, whatever it is. Each pile in these 5 cards, each card has its own theme and its own message. So maybe you're somebody who goes by numerology. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe you're somebody that goes more for words. So each one also has its own message. You may be called to one card. You may be called to all 5 of them. Maybe you're meant to watch the whole reading. It's really up to you. But this was really exciting for me because I didn't know that this was going to come in the way it did. And I really love it because the title of it is Fields of Freedom. And that's the message from our spirit guides, is each individual card has its own message to help you find your fields of freedom. Right now, so much of our power has been taken away from us through our ancestral lineage, through our families, now our work, whatever it is. Right now, a lot of us, are dealing with our governments, and we're all seeing that on a global level that this has been, this kind of mass domination of the planet, and this is not the way it was supposed to go. I mean, I shouldn't say it's not the way it wasn't supposed to go down, because obviously it was, right? I mean, obviously it was. It's all part of the plan, except for what's happening right now is kind of like the culmination of thousands and thousands of years of repression, oppression, and Spirit wants us to take our power back. They want us to remember who we are and that our birthright is freedom. I've been hearing this everywhere, and it's so true. Our birthright is freedom. So in your field of freedom, how do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? This is a mass reading, obviously, so take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't. But to just kind of give you a little idea, obviously, I'll have the timestamps below. So if you already know which one you want and you don't want to hear any more of what I'm saying, that's absolutely fine. Go right back down there, look underneath, and go to your number or go to your words. So this is pile number 1, and the message is one way or another from Blondie. This is card number, and I shouldn't say pile because they really are cards. I'm not going to pull any more cards. This is it. I mean, unless Spirit has me, but I asked them, like, should I go over to my decks? And they said no. So right now we have pile number 1 is one way or another. Pile number 2 is come back. Pile number 3 is spectacular freedom. Pile number 4 is leave me alone. And pile number 5 is rebel, rebel. But, Bowie, rebel, rebel, right? So we are pulling cards from the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle deck, okay? So, I don't feel like I need to say anything else. If anything else comes through, that's fine. But go ahead and go down to your number. And if you're moved to more than one pile, then that's fine. You can watch them in order, or you can watch them, listen to your spirit guides and watch them in the order that your spirit guides recommend. A lot of times, if I'm having a hard time choosing because they're all the same, right? I asked if I should, put like a crystal or something in front of it. They said no. And Toad the Wet Sprocket wanted to come in. So I have a feeling the reason why we're not going to pull more cards is inside here are a bunch of different messages, right? So we may be pulling, each pile may pull from him or they may not. I don't know. So, but this is Toad the Wet Sprocket, and they are our mascot today. Also, I love how the sun's starting to come in. I asked Spirit if I should go at another time, and they said, no, start now. And I went to get a lamp and they said, leave it. So the sun's on its way over here. So it's going to be really exciting. But this is a beautiful piece of citrine, and I'm excited to see how the sun shines on that. So anyway, so go to your number, and I'm going to start with pile number 1. Okay, so I'm going to leave these here. Okay, so pile number 1. I haven't seen your cards either, by the way. I haven't seen your cards either. Oh, one way or another. And your card is number 19, Divinity. Look at the Enchanted Unicorn. Oh, Divinity. And on the bottom it says, balance the physical and the spiritual. Okay, pile number 1. We need to balance the physical and the spiritual. Balance the physical and the spiritual. I felt like it wanted to have like some type of like balance there in the middle. Okay, so your message is one way or another. So to find your fields of freedom, let's hear what Spirit has to say. And also, I'm sure I'll elaborate more, you know. So divinity. Oh, I get it. They're saying one way or another, you need to balance the physical and the spiritual. Like one way or another, like you have to make it happen. So let's hear what they have to say. Now, this is the lotus root. Each enchanted unicorn has some type of healing herb or plant. And so for this one, it's the lotus root. I'm very excited to read this to you. It's also, they drew my eyes to that 1 and 9, 19 is 10. It's also the culmination, the end of something. And it's also the introduction to new beginnings, right? So if we go through 1 through, all numbers are made up of 1 through 10, right? So it's like we just started again, 11, 12, 13, 20, and so on, but we're going in tens, right? So they're saying like from 1 to 10. So like, I feel like you're at the end of something before I even start reading. And obviously, this is going to apply to some of you, and some of you, it may not resonate. So take what you need, leave behind what you don't. But for this one, I'm feeling a really strong pull that the 10 is telling you like, it's time to like end whatever it was that wasn't serving you so that you can bring yourself back into this. Because I feel like this is who you are, gentle warrior. We are the panda tribe, we are the panda warriors, but this is like the gentle warrior, and this is you. This is like how you kind of, I feel very drawn to this reading myself all of a sudden. It's interesting. But it's like, this is you, like super peaceful, right? Like they want me to like pull it forward to even like give you an imagery. They all look different, the cards, but this one, their eyes are closed. Maybe it's you used to meditate and you don't meditate, or maybe for some of you, like you need to meditate. Like it's no joke, like it's really, really time for you to meditate now. Also, I'm hearing different types of meditations. Some people do walking meditation where they just listen to nature and like messages come through. Some people go and sit in nature. Ooh, my whole body's like feeling like, whoa. So yeah, nature. I'm hearing you guys need nature bad. And for you city folk, they're saying, stop making excuses. Even if you have to take a train, I don't know who this is for specifically, but they're saying like, even if you have to take a train somewhere, for instance, I used to live in Chicago, but I could get on the L and take the train, to a place that would have a park. So if you're like, oh, there's no parks by me, or there's nowhere to go, I'm hearing like, don't make excuses, like get to nature any way that you can, especially now if you're in the Northern Hemisphere where, we're going into fall, or we're in fall, right? So it's just going to get colder. So they're saying like, get out into nature. And if it means bundling up and taking a blanket, they're saying you can take your creature comforts with you. Maybe you need a hot cocoa or something, whatever you need, like bring it with you. But also for some of you, I'm hearing balancing the spiritual and the, and the physical is the food thing. I saw something recently that said 2020 was the year, and I posted it on my Instagram, and it said something about like that 2020 was the year of like taking care of like ourselves so well that like our superpowers will just like come in innately, like they'll just like rev up. So if you're feeling like not like yourself and you're, whatever, it's like, I've been telling you guys forever that you have to stop putting things in and on your body that have chemicals in them. It's literally a way to dull your divinity. And so for some of you, literally, that's what they're saying. Like, you are divinity. So you're blocking and you're clogging. It's like if you put a lot of makeup on, right? I saw something recently. I think it was Britney Spears, and she was talking about. I'm really proud of her, what she's doing, by the way. I've a cool story with that I feel like I need to do a whole episode about, but I just think it's really powerful what's happening with some of the celebrities right now, and how we're seeing some of the other celebrities is coming out as like kind of like dark, and we always thought they were like these really awesome people. And oh my gosh, one of my sister friends told me recently that she's like, yeah, didn't you hear, like, I guess Tom Hanks is supposed to be like part of some like dark whatever. And I was like, oh, I can't. I'm like, no, Forrest Gump, what? I'm not saying they're not right, because they're a powerful magician. So I'm just like, fuck if that's true. Like, I'm like, I can't even. And I think a lot of us are doing that, right? Like, we're blocking things we don't want to believe in. And when I was younger, I worked in Planet Hollywood in Beverly Hills when they first opened it. So the owners, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Demi Moore, Bruce Willis, Sly, how can I forget you, Sly? Sylvester Stallone, the four of them were actually there. Not all the time. Some of them were there more than others. Arnold was there a lot. Sly was there a lot. Demi and Bruce were there a lot in the beginning. And then I think that's when they moved away to Utah. But anywho, but it was interesting because here I was from the south side of Chicago, and I had seen a few famous people or met a few famous people here and there, but nothing like when I was working at Planet. I mean, it was off the fucking chain. I mean, I met hundreds and hundreds of celebrities, and really huge celebrities. So it was a really cool experience. However, man, there is nothing worse than like finding out that this false idol, someone that you thought was like so awesome, talks to you like you're a piece of shit, and you're like, wow, you can fuck off. Like, you're just like, what? I mean, I can't even tell you. I mean, I don't want to talk out of school, but there were a few that are really blew my mind how rude they were. And I was like, man, I really thought they were a nice person, but I couldn't say anything because I'd get fired, obviously. But it was very, 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 very interesting to see and watch how these people who I looked up to would like fall so far from grace. And Spirit is saying that, like, for some of you, you have these false idols that are going on. And thank you so much, Cameo, for that, because honestly, it made me look at things so differently. We all tend to have these false idols, and it's not just in celebrities, right? It's in our friends, our family. If you're someone who loves going to church, but you're starting to see like, your preacher, your priest, or whatever, whatever it is, the monks, whatever it is you worship, wherever you go or whatever, it's all so personal. But, we're all seeing how these people, they're just people, and they all have their own belief system. So right now, Spirit is like saying, like, close your eyes and get quiet and be still so that you can really seek the true divinity that lies within you, because you have a great gift. You have many, many, many gifts, but one of your greatest gifts is holding space for other people. But if you're not taking care of yourself, they're like, how can you really like take care of others? So we're going to read this now. The lotus root. Oh, and they're saying it's on page 75, which is also the number 12. This lotus root is the woody rhizome of the gorgeous lotus plant. It can snake up to a meter in length through the thick mud at the bottom of rivers and ponds. Lotus root is a popular ingredient in many Asian dishes and is extremely versatile. It has been used in Chinese herbal medicine for thousands of years to staunch blood flow and balance the emotions. Lotus root reduces stress and brings peace of mind. It heals both the physical and the spiritual body. And the divination of this card. The ancient Buddhist custom of presenting alms in the form of food to monks is strongly represented in this card. This practice reinforces that monks are not elevated above everyone else. They are human and need physical sustenance to continue their religious work. In return for the offerings of food, monks bestow blessings such as long life, health, and happiness upon the giver. Thus, the monks are supported physically and the believers are supported spiritually, in a symbiotic relationship that gives the physical and spiritual equal importance. It can be easy to neglect the physical body when concentrating on spiritual pursuits. However, the act of preparing, cooking, and eating food, as well as sharing meals with loved ones, can be a divine experience. When feeling overwhelmed, the simple act of sharing a meal can bring healing. The Divinity Unicorn asks us to sustain our body temple for the soul with healthy and delicious food. Food nourishes the body, which in turn allows us to follow the pursuits that feed our souls. Yes, right? And see, this is a piece of endangered species. It's the darkest dark chocolate. Spirits love dark chocolate. I don't know what it is. I know I love it too. So, I just give that gift of offering to our spirit guides and all those who came here today, right? And we hold it here in front of Sprocket. We also give like a symbol of abundance with this pyrite, right? That's showing money, gold, that we deserve this divinity, these blessings. So the unicorn magic is, the unicorns encourage you to cook and share with others to honor the divine self in all. Featuring lotus root in some of your dishes will bring balance and harmony to the meal. And now you guys, I don't know if you can get a screenshot or not. Ooh, interesting. This humongous fly just came right in my eyesight. And I mean, like, it's like one of those big horse flies. So look up fly spirit medicine. That means something for you guys. that means something. Also, these sigils, I think they may do those sigils for all of them. And I don't remember if it's in the book. I kind of want to see if it is. It might not be. But this is from the Priestess Moon deck. Let me see, hold on. No, but it's something I need to look into. You know, I've been doing readings with these decks, so yeah, it is on every one. I believe this one's water. I think, see, this is bad. I should know my sigils. Not bad, but this is something I'm going to be working on and teaching. By the way, I'm still going to do the warrior walk. I feel like some of you want me to say this, so I'm saying it. I'm still going to do the warrior walk. It's probably going to be in November. I said in my last, in the real talk, in the last reading that I did, that we're moving. And so once we get set up in our new house by November, I'll be doing more stuff like that. Or if it turns out that whatever, it's like I just know that November, it's going to be in November. So those are your messages, pal, or I should say card number 1. Work on your divinity. Work on balancing your spiritual and your physical form. You know, nothing lasts forever, right? But you are in control of your own life. You are in control of how you want things to be. You do not have to do anything you do not want to do, right? If you need to, like maybe with the meal, the thing I heard from Spirit is like, maybe you need to have some girlfriends, boyfriends, like they, however, she, he, her, they, him, whatever people go by, it's like, I totally honor that. So whatever feels comfortable for you, gather your tribe. That's really what I was trying to say. But gather your tribe and have maybe a weekly meal. Maybe it's just one other person in your group. Maybe it's something that you guys do virtually where, you make your food and you come together on the phone and you have like a little conversation. And then you say, hey, you guys, let's all eat lotus fruit. You cook your thing, I cook my thing, we'll meet together. Or have a pot, a little potluck, right? Where everybody brings something and it has to be made with something from lotus root. I mean, how cool would that be? You can find stuff online, but most of the time through local grocers and organic groceries, you can find it. If not, you can order it. Anyway, those are your messages. Thank you for stopping by. Card number 1. Okay. So let's go to card number 2. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't have to do it that way. Okay, card number 2. So I'm going to move. It's like we're moving down, we're moving down, we're moving down. I'm like, okay. Hopefully, if you're watching 1 and 2, sorry about this, but I will... I'll put the timestamp below. Okay, so card number 2 is 26, transform. Number 26, which is also the number 8, transform your life. Look at that beautiful, proud. Ooh, that reminds me of fire. This could be some fire signs too. Also, I feel like it's somebody's birthday is the 26th. Yesterday was the 26th. Today's the 27th, so it's not here. But I feel like that number means something for some of you. So I was married on the 26th, so that's interesting. Transform, transform, transform. Okay, so let's see. Your message is come back. Oh, come back. Transform. Let's see. Ooh, I'm excited to see what your messages are. So this is your fields of freedom. How are you going to take your power back? Come back. Number 2, messages from our spirit guides, fields of freedom. I feel like some of you didn't watch the first part about the title. That's why they had me say that. Okay, so just so you know, each unicorn has its own herb or plant to represent the energy that they're working with. They also have their own sigils, so feel free to take a screenshot if you want. So card number 2. Okay. Also, they're saying, that's what they said. They said card number 2, and then it's 26, and it's like 2, 2, so 4 is 10. Ooh, transform. You're at the end of that too. Interesting. Pile number 1 was 19, was number 10. So they're telling me this is number 10. So that's what all of these numbers like. So it's 2 for pile 2 or card 2, and then 26. So it comes in the number 10. So transformation, right? Like it's time for you to move on. Tens are all about ending something and a brand new beginning. This is the chili pepper. Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Like it feels spicy. It feels spicy. I love it. Spicy, hot, like fire signs, you know, Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay, the red chili pepper is a hot summer spice under the dominion of the fiery red planet of Mars. Mars, ooh, interesting. Mars is also the planet of war. So its task on a magical level is to inspire action, making things happen quickly and constructively. Medicinally, its stimulating effect helps ailments brought on by cold and damp conditions. Chilies raise the metabolism and can bring a sense of euphoria when eaten in large quantities. The divination of this card is, this unicorn appears as a fiery phoenix rising from the ashes. You may not realize the power you have over your own life. Transform, by the way, I'm having a really hard time reading. It's almost like for some of you, they're having me say this out loud, like you're just having a really hard time like being your true, honest self. It's just, it's time to just break out of old patterns and break out. Like, I feel for some of you, like maybe you dress a certain way or you look a certain way or you act a certain way or all of the above. Remember, these are mass readings. So, you know, take what you need, leave behind what you don't. But this is very powerful because I feel like some of you, like maybe, like for instance, I remember one time when my mom and I went shopping and I was getting this new job and she was helping me. And long story short, she said, well, now you have your work clothes and you have, you know, your play clothes or whatever. And I was like, I'm not a child. And she goes, well, you know what I mean? She's like, you have your work clothes and you have like your everyday clothes. And I said, I don't want my work clothes to be different than my regular clothes. And she's like, well, that's just the way it is. And I remember that. And she's like, you're not going to get a job, you know, like that. And you have to cover your tattoos, you know, and all these things. And I just remember I looked at her and I was like, Mom, I don't want a job like that. And she's like, well, kiddo, like, I don't know what you want me to tell you, you know. And it was like, I just remember being frustrated and I just thought it was ridiculous. And I'm hearing that for you guys too. Like maybe you guys like literally like you wear completely different clothes for different parts of your life. And they're saying like you're like compartmentalizing, you know, and that's why there's like three, it's almost like there's three versions of you. And they're like trying to say like they want you to like pull it all together and just be who you are, where you are, wherever you are, like however you are. It doesn't fucking matter. Like it's nobody's business but yours, like how you look, what you dress, what you're wearing. Okay, so they're saying, listen, this unicorn appears as a fiery phoenix rising from the ashes, and you may not realize the power you have over your own life. Transform appears when you are ready to experiment with energy. Each negative situation you encounter is either an invitation to wallow resentfully or a chance to heal. You choose. Just as the chili pepper transforms the dank and sluggish to the active and alive, so too can your energy transform a room or a group of people. Switch the script. You influence the energy in a place. You are not influenced by it. You have the power to change, improve, and shift the unseen energy of a space with your thoughts. Take your power back, right? Like that's the theme. The theme is like finding our fields of freedom. And they're saying the way for you to find your fields of freedom is to take your power back. Like, you know, pull in all the different bits of yourself. Like, there's a lot of great books on it, but it's, you know, soul retrieval. I'm hearing right now from a lot of you guys, like soul retrieval. I can't honor soul retrieval enough. It is such a huge part of who we are, even if we don't even understand it or recognize it. Okay. Switch the script. Okay, we went there. You have the power to change, improve, and shift the unseen energy of a space with your thoughts. This unicorn encourages you to become a healing influence. Part of the solution to a happier and healthier human race is obtained by focusing on the good, the positive, and the joyful. Just by this focus, you can raise the energy in a room to one of love, peacefulness, and joy. The unicorn magic here is that the unicorns bring you this special little spell to help bring you a new lease on life and aid you to transmute energies from negative to positive. Take 3 chili red peppers and tie them together with a red ribbon. Place this little charm under your bed to ignite transformation and invite new beginnings. And yes, I heard, yes, they have to be red. I feel like somebody said, can they just be chili peppers? Like, and I heard no. The whole point is the red, because red is also for protection, right? So, I'm going to put it here, and I can't see if you can see that or not, but hopefully you can get a screenshot. So we're going to take 3 chili peppers and tie them with a 3 red chili peppers, and tie them with a red ribbon. and you're going to put it underneath your bed. Not under your pillow, not under your mattress, under your bed. Okay? So if you have things under your bed, take them out. No one should have anything under their bed. And if you're using it as storage, you need to find a different way. And I know that sucks, and I know it's horrible. The only thing that I would say that you can keep under your bed would be clean clothes. And I mean clean, not something you wore a few times, you keep shoving it back in a drawer. No, because everything absorbs energy, especially clothing. So, you know, you don't want to have things underneath your energy. Ooh, look at that. You know, Freudian slip. You don't want to have material things underneath your bed, because they either omit energies that you don't need, or they absorb energies that you're working through or whatever. So you want everything under your bed to be completely cleared. I feel like we're ready for takeoff. But you know, you want your space underneath your bed to be clear. You could put crystals and things under there. That's fine. Some people like to, you know, look up like, you know, energizing your sleep time or whatever. But in terms of like clutter and that, no. So again, you know, this is for multiple people, this reading. So take what you need, leave behind what you don't. But yeah, so use that energy, and the come back, the energy that there's, or what they're saying for this, for the transformation, is they're saying come back, like come back to who you are, you know, like come back to who you are. You've been giving way too much of your power away to way too many people, and you've been dulling your fire, you know, for some of you. And I know it's interesting. I feel like because we're panda warriors and we are light workers and spirit warriors, I feel like even though each of us has our own story, we're all going through such similar things that it makes sense that the first card resonated with me, this card resonates with me, and I bet the rest of them will resonate with me too. So you know, feel free to watch some other ones if you are drawn to. But yeah, that's basically that is your message, is to come back to who you are. Come back to who, like, you were born and brought here to be. And if you're not sure, then you need to meditate more or focus, get more grounded, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, use these tips here. Taking the 3 red chili peppers, tie them together with red ribbon, and place this little charm under your bed to ignite transformation and invite new beginnings. Also, I'm hearing, like, write down, like, what do you want? Like, who are you? You know, but stop fighting these wars with people. This is your life. You do what you want to do. And if other people don't like it, well, you know what? Then they can just lump it. I'm sorry to say, because that's the truth. So anyway, these are your messages. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, and I forgot to say it for the other pile, but I'll say it for you guys. If you would like to book a reading with me, or if you'd like to donate to this channel and to me to help move everything along, because I'm finally moving out of big camper and moving into a house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would appreciate it. The information is below, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Let's see. All right. Number 3. I feel like it's, if you've stayed from 2 to 3, you can hear this. If not, it'll go to the stamp and nobody will hear it. But I feel like it's, the Sound of Music, where they're like, they keep moving down the line, is one, so long, farewell, I'll be with. They're like, bye-bye. So now we have 3, 4, and 5. So let's see card number 3. Number 14, the Vessel. Admit your true feelings. Also, number 14 is also the number 5, and 5 is all about changing and shifting. And if you looked at it from like 1 to 10, 5's in the middle, right? So for some of you, I feel like you're in the middle of like something major, so we're going to talk about that. But this is the Vessel. Admit your true feelings. I heard empath really strongly, so I believe some of you are empaths. I also feel like these cards need to go far away. I feel like you need to have your own little... Do you need to be in the spotlight? Is that it? Oh. Okay, well, they're telling me to move this over here. Okay, so this is 4 and 5, but here you are. So I don't know what's going on over here, but we're going to find out. Because you're number 3, which is also that's the number, but the, you know, title of yours is Spectacular Freedom. So that's interesting too, because 1 and 4 is 5, and if you add 3 together, that's 8, and 8's about infinity. So I don't know if we're going to bring that up. So let's go to your card, the Vessel. And just so you know, each card has a unicorn, but then each, they also have either an herb or a plant that represents them. And for you guys, it is the orris root. The orris root. So let's bring this back here. Get you spectacular freedom. I feel like you guys are, I'm also hearing, if you're familiar with Guns N' Roses, I'm hearing, welcome to the jungle. It gets worse here every day. You could listen to the words to Welcome to the Jungle. Okay, look up the lyrics and listen to the song Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. That's your first set of homework. Yeah, wow, this is going to be really powerful. So it says the orris powder is the ground root of the gorgeous purple iris pallida or I. germanica. Redolent of violets, orris root was used in medieval times by Dominican monks to bind precious perfumes. On a metaphysical level, the iris encourages gentle yet powerful emotional healing. The divination is, this unicorn offers assistance if you have been feeling obligated, less than, drained, or resentful. Perhaps someone is treating you badly and you keep making excuses for their behavior. Maybe you dislike someone or something you are supposed to like, in quotes, supposed to like, right? Like maybe a family member or like a coworker or something, and you have struggled with these feelings. Acknowledge these feelings. In the privacy of your own mind, finally admit to yourself how you truly feel. No more trying to block negative thoughts and be the quote unquote nice guy, right? Right? So you're back here. This is why you're back here, because you're not taking care of yourself. You're too worried about everybody else. No more holding the heavy burden of unpleasant emotions in this body, your human vessel. When you admit to these less than loving feelings, it opens you up for a space of healing and for healing. Maybe you feel that as a spiritual person, you must be caring and supportive of everyone, but this doesn't need to be at the expense of your own emotional health. Often the most spiritual thing you can do is speak plainly and refuse to accept petty or demeaning behaviors. If you are in a situation you do not like or around people that make you feel drained and upset, you are allowed to leave. No one person is more important than the other. You absolutely have the right to choose who to spend your time with. That is correct. And also they're saying if you notice, like, even though you're over here in hiding, they're also saying, like, it's okay to go full, like, you can ghost people. You know, it's not, you know, some people are like, it's so immature or whatever, but I think like what's happening right now, if you know that you're not going to have the conversation with somebody that you have to have the conversation with, right? Like have to have a conversation. Like they're like, why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you, you know, I've ghosted a lot of people, and it's not because I don't love them. I love them dearly, but we are on completely different paths, and I can't keep going back to where they are or whatever. Like I have some people, whether it's clients, friends, family, that are still stuck on certain things, and they still, like, they won't let things go. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I started to notice some of my friendships or some of my relationships, they'd be like, you know, we'd be alone and, you know, we'd be at a meal together and we'd start to talk about certain things, and they'd get uncomfortable with what I was talking about because they weren't fully like into, like, they're spiritual, or maybe they think they're spiritual or they say they're spiritual, but they're not really, right? Like it scares them. They're not like, you know, they're not acting from a true place of like who they are. So it's interesting to me how, you know, so many of them would be like, oh my gosh, do you remember that time when we blah, blah, blah? And it'd be like, and we would talk about things. And then I started to realize we were talking about memories. We were talking about the past, but we didn't really have any like current situations. And whenever we talked about our lives, we would talk about things for a little while, but it was kind of like the same thing where I was like, we're not super connected. And it just felt like work. And if you're feeling like that too, if this sounds familiar to you, where the only relationship you have with people is from the past, that's a huge red flag. That means that, like, it doesn't mean you won't come back to each other. It just means that right now you and them are not in the same place. And, you know, you don't have to make excuses and be like, you know, if they're like, how come you're not hanging out with me? Just be like, I'm just in a different place right now. I'm on a spiritual journey that doesn't include everyone. That doesn't mean I don't love you. That doesn't mean we won't come back together. Whatever languaging that you want to use that makes you feel comfortable, but don't run away from it either. I'm hearing that from your spirit guides really strongly. Don't run away from it. Stand tall and stand strong. The unicorn magic for this is, the unicorns bring a special prayer bag recipe for you to create. This little sachet will prompt you to protect your personal boundaries. Well, it's really interesting because I thought they were gonna. I don't know if you can get a screenshot. I know the lighting spirit. I do as they say, and they told me to just go by the natural lighting today. I had it all set up so that you could see everything, but now it makes sense because they were like, start right now, and I was like, okay. And now it makes sense because this card at this reading at this time wouldn't have made as much sense, right? Very powerful. So what they're saying is, create a prayer bag. Like, look up now if you want to Google it, look up prayer bags, medicine bags, whatever you're more drawn to. And then I would say through meditation, like, sit down with your spirit guides and say, what do I need to put in this prayer bag, or what is in my greatest and highest good? Do I want a chunk of cedar? Do I want some crystals, stones, whatever it is? It could be anything. It could be a piece of, a necklace or fabric, just anything. So that's why it's saying this little sachet will prompt you to protect your personal boundaries. Okay? So spectacular freedom, I feel like they're trying to say to you is like, this reading is called Fields of Freedom and taking your power back. And they're saying the only way for you to take your power back is to avoid situations that are no longer good for you, and not allowing your friends or family to like kind of make you feel less than, like, or I've had family members that are like, oh my gosh, you're so selfish, or you're blah, blah, blah. And I've been feeling lately that I'm super selfish because I've been taking care of my partner who's been, really ill. And I realized, I'm like, no, because we all need those boundaries, right? Like, we all need some time to ourselves, and we can't keep giving. The more we keep giving, the more we deplete ourselves. And anyone who wants you to deplete more of yourself than you are willing to give, that's selfish and that's narcissistic. And if they're calling you names or saying like that stuff to you, that's when you're like, don't do protest too much, right? It's like, we're all mirrors. So some of us are bigger mirrors than others. If they're saying that, it's like, why any person who really cares about you, if you're like, I just can't right now, would respect your boundaries and would respect that that's where you are. Anyone else who is like trying to tug at your heartstrings or trying to make you feel guilty in any way, that's their shit. It ain't yours. So you retreat when you need to, and you come out when you need to. And when you come out, it's okay to hang. Oops. It's okay to hang in the background. Look at that. They're like, bye-bye. It's okay to hang in the background. Oh my gosh, they just said or completely disappear. Oh my gosh, I love it. Or completely disappear. You don't owe anybody anything. You know what I mean? Like, we'll put these over here. Oh, Toad the Wet Sprocket wants to give you a little message. Okay, Toad the Wet Sprocket. What message does the spectacular freedom pile need to hear? Don't you know that you are a shooting star? They started singing that to me, and then I looked down and I saw that. Look at that. It says stars on it. Or it did. I'll take old things like that. Like, I'm going to like cut price tags off shit, and Spirit will be like, no, take it. I'm going to tell you what this whole card says in all different parts, right? It says original something, I don't know what this word is, vases with mulberry paper and leaves, and it's also number 91, which is interesting because card number 1 was number 19, so you may want to go back and watch card number 1, which is also the theme of that one, was one way or another. And on the back of this, it says, as you wish. As you wish, Betsy. So I don't know if that's a message for anybody, or if this is like as you wish, like make a wish and ask. Maybe one of you, your spirit guide's name is Betsy, or maybe this is a spirit guide that's talking to us, or maybe it's a loved one that's passed over. But it also reminds me of As You Wish, The Princess Bride. Watch The Princess Bride. That's such a great movie. Okay, and then the last message is, love is to live for somebody. Love is not to live with somebody. Interesting. Okay, so the message I got, it's so funny because I feel like that's contradictory for what we just said, and they told me to throw it down. What they're saying with that is like, when we are helping somebody, we help them and we move on. We don't hold on to their emotions. They're saying like, they don't want you to have someone's energy to live with you. Like, maybe you're not with your parents, but yet you're at home in your own house, but like you hear their voices in your head. It's like they're still dictating you. So I'm hearing the programming runs really, really deep. This is a good segue because I was just going to say I'm opening back up in October for readings. So if you'd like to do a reading with me, please reach out. The information is below. But yeah, I'm hearing like past life. If you want to do a past life reading, or maybe you want to go on a past life journey with someone, whatever is in your greatest and highest good, I will leave that to you to decide for yourself. But yeah, so thank you so much for stopping by card number 3. It's so hard. I'm so used to saying pile number 3. So card number 3, go and grab that spectacular freedom. Take your power back. This is your life. It's nobody else's. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye. Okay. Card number 4. That's interesting. I feel like card number... Oh! It makes so much sense. Welcome, card number 4. I have to tell you how funny this is because 5 just fell down. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was about to grab it and I heard don't. And it's funny because pile number 4 is Leave Me Alone. It's from the song The Veronicas. It's the song Leave Me Alone from the group. It's twin sisters, The Veronicas. If you feel so inclined, look up that song and hear the words. Listen to the song. You'll probably feel really good. I've done things with it before. But for you, you know, this is a message from your spirit guides, and it's called Fields of Freedom, taking your power back. And they're saying in order for you to get to your fields of freedom, you need to take your power back. In order to do that, we are number 9. Bury me. Look at that. Take some time to yourself. I love when they do this shit. I love it. It's like, you know, I've heard so many mediums say the same thing, the channels, whatever you want to call it, where it's like if things will align so perfectly. I didn't look at these cards. I just pulled them and put them out, and then Spirit told me how to line them up. But it's awesome that this is Leave Me Alone. It's number 4, and it's like take some time for yourself, right? Bury me. But it's with berry. So each card has a unicorn, and then they also have either an herb or a plant that they are representing. And I'm not sure if you want to be... We had the other one there. I feel like this one, it's almost like you're somewhere in between, right? You're like somewhere between that. So what did you say? Oh, they said the number 9. And the number 9 is basically like you're not quite there yet, right? Like you're almost there. You're almost to the finish line. If you look at, you know, everything from like 1 to 10, and 10 being the end and the completion and the culmination of something, it's like number 9 is like you're almost there. That's when Spirit's like, keep going, don't give up, you're so close, you're so close, you're so close. But also at the same time, I'm getting from some of you guys, you're just like, like you're about to fucking snap, like you're about to like lose your shit. And I'm there with you. I feel it. So your representation, your plant is the red currant, the ribes robum. Take some time for yourself. Red currants are believed to purify the blood with their astringency and wealth of vitamins and minerals contained within. However, they are sharp and an acid, I think they mean to say acidic, so I'm going to read it that way. However, they are sharp and acidic and require sweetening. The bright red berries of the red currant resemble tiny rubies and promise better days ahead. Magically, red currants are used in love spells, and this also includes self-love rituals. The divination is, bury me gently reminds us to stop trying to do so much or take on too much. This unicorn with eyes closed is suffering from a busy, scattered mind that says, bury me under the eider down and let me rest. This sense of overwhelm stems from putting everyone else first and yourself last, leading to feelings of anxiety and stress. Practice the art of saying no to demanding work colleagues, friends, and family members. The appearance of this card highlights the classic bitten off more than you can chew trap. Explore the reasons why you do too much for others at the expense of your own mental and physical health. Is it guilt or the need for control? Everyone's overwhelm limit is different, and it is important to remember this if you feel the need to judge others for not doing enough. You may feel virtuous for taking on so many things, but at what expense? Give yourself a much-needed break, time to relax and ponder, and space to think and create. Yes, so that's why, and do you see how the sun's coming up a little, like when I first put it there, it would look like it was almost like half, and how it's like lightening up now. It's like, when I first started this reading, I was like, I had lights on, I was going to do all this stuff, put a little spotlight on Sprocket, Toad the Wet Sprocket, because he's got little messages in here. I thought it was going to be something like that, right? And then they were like, no, start now. And it's so magical. If you're drawn to watch the whole reading, do. If not, maybe this is just your card. But it's interesting how all the piles had very similar themes. But, there was always one little thing that was like a little more like, you need to really work on this, like, and tweak this or tweak that. So For this one, each card has what they call unicorn magic, and it's kind of like a recommendation or something that can help you while you're working on whatever it is. And this one, it says, the Bury Me Unicorn proposes that you take a pajama day, otherwise known as a mental health day. Give yourself just one day and the permission to do whatever you fancy. No musts or shoulds or have-tos, just acres of free time and no demands. You can even stay in your pajamas all day, eating tasty snacks and answering any phone calls or emails. Bliss, whatever your bliss is, right? Whatever your bliss is. I don't know if you can see that or take a screenshot. But whatever your bliss is, take a full day to yourself. Perfect example. Edward has to go to the hospital on Tuesday in Seattle. He has to go and see his throat specialist. Those of you who know, my partner had a horrible accident and he's been in recovery, and I've been taking care of him for 6 weeks. And it has been, 3 of it has been him in the hospital, but me like getting the house ready for him to come home and going to visit him in Seattle. And then 3 weeks of it, he's been home, and it's been me caring for him and feeding him. He has a feeding tube through his stomach, and it was just like been nonstop. Well, a few weeks ago, I lost my shit, like so bad that I like sent a message to like some of my closest clients who are also my girlfriends. And I was just like, you guys, I am struggling. I am drowning. I'm like, I need help. And I'll tell you what, everybody came to the rescue in the way that they could, and it was perfect. And one of my friends was local, and she came and picked me up and took me back to her house, and she's a Reiki, and she worked on me, and she did my laundry and fed me. And I mean, just, it was like the most beautiful, perfect day it was just bliss, right? So do that, call on someone, be like, or if you want to be completely alone, you can go be completely alone. But it was like, even when I was at her house, she had to run errands for her kids, and she's like, do you want to come with? And I was like, is it okay if I stay here? She goes, I was hoping you'd say that. She goes, I think you need some time. She goes, I want you to come, but she's like, do whatever feels good. And it was awesome. She's like, my house is your house, do whatever you want. And she's got crystals and stones and tarot cards and oracle cards and just fun stuff everywhere. Like everywhere you look, it looked like an altar in her house. It was just really magical. By the way, she makes these mala beads. I knew it was meant to come in for somebody, so maybe it's for you guys. She makes these mala beads. Look at this beautiful Larimar. It's so heavy, you guys. It's amazing. Larimar is the main stone, and then it's Tiger's Eye, Aventurine, and Howlite. And they're all different prices, but I know that they go from like, I think 75 to I traded her this for $200 just because I offered her that. She was like, do you give me whatever you want? And I said, I would pay $200 for this, because lapis is, this piece itself is like heavy and beautiful, and it's a really gorgeous, rare piece. I keep saying lapis, Larimar. Apparently I need lapis. She has a lapis one, so I feel like I'm supposed to get that one too, but we'll see if no one buys it, or I'll have her make me one. But that's the other thing too. She custom makes them, but they're the mala beads, right? The 108, and she prays over each bead, and she puts Reiki into them. This feels so powerful. I can't even tell you. And I wear it. I hang it above my bed when I'm sleeping. It's been amazing. So, maybe you need to treat yourself, or maybe you need to go make yourself a mala bead necklace. But if you're interested, reach out to me and I'll give you her information. She had so many beautiful ones, you guys. So many like works of art. They're all works of art, and you can feel that like I saw that one as if it was glowing, and I was like, obviously, I need, my body's like Larimar, Aventurine, Howlite, and Tiger's Eye. Like that's what my body is like craving right now. And I just heard trading. I'm like, oh, that might be kind of fun to trade up and be like, hey, can I use this one for a while? let me trade you back this one. Anywho. So you see what I'm saying? And see how the light is coming up. It's like they want you to soften up, lighten up. Go sit in the sunshine, and if your day off is like a rainy day, something like that, then take yourself to a movie theater, or take yourself, wherever. I personally can't stand wearing the mask, so I wouldn't want to do that. Or ask your family or your friends if they can go to a family's house for the day, whatever it is, even 5 hours. I just heard even 5 hours, especially if you're somebody who's a parent, or if you're a single person and you work, and you've got a significant other, or you're single, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're just inundated and you just need some time to yourself. I'm just hearing it's really, 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 really important. They wouldn't say something like leave me alone. That's such a serious thing. And I asked how I did this is when it started, I said, can you give us the theme through song? And the song was called Fields of Freedom. And then I heard take your power back. And then I said, cool. And then as the song started to play, I was like, oh, I get it. I'm like, each card is going to have like words and a theme. So for some of you, it might have just been the number 4. But for others of you, you know, it was like, maybe it was leave me alone. Because you're feeling that pressure, like, you know, maybe your boss is, and I'll tell you what, I have a friend who's a single person, and man, her job is her life. Like, she works a ridiculous amount of hours, and it was different when she would go like to work, like in the city, but now she's been working from home because she can, and it's hard because she's like, I don't feel like she, you know, I think she's working like way more hours, right? Because like they're like, oh, well, you're home, or can you just work on can you finish this? And she doesn't have to get in her car and, you know, or go to the train, or, you know what I mean? Like, she just can do it like right there from home. And I think some people are feeling really taken advantage of and overwhelmed, because a lot of companies have downsized. There's just so many shifts and changing happening right now. So it's really important that you take this time to yourself, okay? Take time for yourself and learn to say no. And see this sigil? I think this means, I think this one's water. It might be land, because I think it's land when the thing's through it. So you can look up sigils, but does it say it on there? No, I wish they would, because I'm still learning the sigils. But anyway, like they're saying, like, don't keep yourself like half buried underwater, you know? It's like, be the grounded one. Take that time to yourself so that you can get back out there and help people when they need it. Okay? So those are your messages. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, all of my information is below. If you'd like to donate to this channel towards this reading, or just to keep this channel supporting, that information is below as well. Thank you so much for coming by today, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, pile number 5. Pile number 5, you got kicked to the curb. You got kicked to the curb. It wasn't, you know what? It makes sense though, because you're number 5, which is rebel, right? So the rebel is like, I don't need anybody. I'm going to go off by myself. Oh my goodness. Wait till you guys see this. I'm so excited. Hold on. Hang in there. Okay. Pile number 5. Now, I haven't seen your card yet. I just saw a little bit of it, but this was from our tribe reading the other day, and I didn't even know this was on the floor. So you guys got a bonus card. Nobody else got a bonus card. They told me not to pull anything. So here we go. I don't know where they want. They're right there. Okay. All right. We're playing with light today. Okay, so the tree of life. True wisdom and making good choices in life. Okay, where is this going to go? Right here. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome, pile number 5. Well, this has been a really fun, beautiful reading. I just feel so happy. I can't even tell you. I love fall. Look at this leaf, by the way. I have to show you. I have to get in close and show you this leaf. Do you see how you can kind of see through it right here? I love leaves like that. Can you see that? I feel like Mr. Rogers right now. And he's like, can you see that? Isn't that special? Isn't that special? Okay, so number 5, you're my rebel. You guys are the rebels. If you chose this pile, man, either that's your higher self like reminding you that you're the rebel, or that's just them, you know, saying it's time for you to rebel, right? Like it's time for you to fight back. So this is a mass reading for multiple people. So I'm getting a lot of messages. It's interesting because out of the other 4 piles, I of course was channeling, but this is different. I feel like there are so many messages that want to come through. So this is the tree of life. True wisdom and making good choices in life. True wisdom and making good choices in life. I have a feeling I know where this is going, but I feel like right now we're going to put this right here. There we go. And I picked up this when I was hiking recently. It looked like a heart, this rock. And we're going to have a little sip of water. We're going to have a sip of water right now. Everybody take a sip of water. For some of you who just came to the reading, you went straight to the 5, so that's okay. But I'm like, for me, it's been 53 minutes and 50 seconds and counting. Okay, so here is your card pile. Card 5, not pile 5. Number 1, invention. Oh my gosh. Also, I heard throat chakra right out the gate. Do you see that? It's like how they're showing like, oh my God, I swear I didn't do that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, you guys. So smoke them if you got them. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I may have done this one other reading, maybe a few others. I don't remember. I may have done it in like a panda, like culmination tribe reading. I'm hearing this wants to go over here. It wants to be aligned with these little things right here. Okay. But before this started, I started to, I always smoke a little cannabis, like to, kind of bring me to the place that I like to go. And long story short, I took one little baby hit and then Spirit said, put it down and smoke it later. And I was like, oh, okay. And then as I was setting everything up, I heard pile number 5. So pile number 5, if you want to pause this video, if you partake in cannabis, and I don't like to push cigarettes, but if you like to smoke cigarettes or whatever, you're the rebel. I'm never going to tell you who to be. I used to smoke cigarettes and drink like a sailor. So whatever feels good to you, if you want to get a glass of wine, if you want to, whatever you need right now, that's going to take you to a place where you're going to be more open, you're going to be more free and be more like yourself. Do what you got to do. So I'm going to give you a chance, okay, to pause it and come back. Okay, now that you're back... I was going to say, like, you paused it, right? So you paused it, but now we're back. Is everybody ready? You got your stuff or you got your drink? So we're going to either toast. So I'll say cheers to we'll clink to Toad the Wet Sprocket. Oh, no, we'll clink to this. So this will be like your goblet or your whatever. I say cheers that way. That's why they said drink some water. And for the rest of you, let's have a smoke. We're riding on the peace train. Nice. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. You guys, my rebels. And if you showed up here and you're somebody who's a little more conservative, if you chose this, you chose it for a reason. Be yourself. I just heard that. I don't know who that message was for, but I just heard that message is for someone. So number 1, invention. Now, each unicorn also has either an herb or a plant. And this one is the blueberry plant. So that means you need to eat some blueberries. I've been eating a lot of blueberries the last few weeks. And work with your throat chakra. See, this is what I saw I've seen this card quite a few times now, but when I saw this area right here, I saw this as like the inside of them instead of like seeing it as the flower in front of them. I saw that as like the inner workings, get it, of like their body. And I saw this almost like where like your voice box has like, it's been tied and tethered. Like you're not allowed to like speak your truth, or you think you're not allowed to speak your truth, or somebody's telling you that you can't speak your truth and they're saying, oh yeah, well, you need to be like, snip, 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 get your shit, get off me, get off me, get off my throat chakra, hey, you get off of my cloud, right? Like Spirit saying like, you speak for yourself. This is your path. Oh, look at how it froze. That's rad. I love when that shit happens. Yeah, you stare at that for a second, right? You see the visual? It's still moving. Oh, I love it. Ah, that was so rad. I love when it does it. I'm not doing anything. Like, that's like so rad. Anyway, so, okay, here we go. They're like, get into it. So this is about brilliant new ideas. And also I'm hearing it's about bringing yourself back to yourself, And if you notice, they have me move the card a little bit more. I don't know what that means now, but we've been playing with lighting. All the other cards were the same way. Really cool shit. So, take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't. These cards are so magical. I let them do their thing. So blueberries. Blueberries are traditionally used in protection spells, and when placed under the front doormat can offer protection for the home and family. Blueberries have been associated with following your dreams because of the beautiful 5-pointed starry flower the plant produces. On a metaphysical level, they have been linked with removing obstacles and creating a space to find fresh answers to tricky problems. Medicinally, blueberries can help improve eyesight, especially at night. Thus, blueberries can enhance clear vision both on a physical and magical level. The divination of this card is, creativity is not just about creating art. Creativity can mean finding new solutions to old problems. A breakthrough is imminent. You are thinking clearly now, and obstacles are starting to dissolve. A clever solution to a long-standing issue or a brilliant new monkey-making idea is indicated. Start by getting these ideas out of your head and onto paper. This is the first step in ensuring your inventive concepts become a reality. Divergent thinking is the key. Brainstorm as many possibilities as you can think of, even if they seem completely out there and pie in the sky. This is not the time to worry about logic and practicality. Within these new ideas rests the seed of brilliance, and this new growth needs to be nurtured with a yes attitude. Be curious, take a few risks, entertain some outlandish ideas, allow yourself to potter and let the ideas marinate with no judgment about wasting time and being seemingly idle. You're not wasting time, they're saying, you know. Everyone is creative and able to think of brilliant new ideas, not just the artists and inventors of this world. Creativity is an intuitive process, yes, but it is also a skill that can be learned and practiced. The invention unicorn encourages you to be playful and embrace a childlike, why not attitude. A positive attitude will help your excellent ideas flourish and expand. Anything is possible when this unicorn appears. Unicorn magic. Ask the unicorns to help you think of 88 outlandish ideas, either for money making or for a solution to a tricky problem. 8 is the number of good fortune and endless possibilities. Letting go of common sense can actually be quite helpful during this process. You may be surprised by some of the gems that appear. Yes. Also, I think it's interesting that the card, if you want to take a screenshot of the unicorn magic, I think it's interesting that the dragonfly is on the other side, because if you saw my videos lately, I've been inundated with dragonflies lately, which is everything is going to be fine. That's the message from the dragonfly. So yeah, right? Like writing, like getting excited about what you want to do and who you want to be. You know, it's not an accident that this was the rebel. You know, Spirit pulled this together. They said it was going to be one card each, and we were going to work with one song each. And so they're saying, like, inch by inch, you know, start moving along. You know, if it takes 88 steps to get there, that's okay, you know. And you may have to, like, go into hiding for a little while, right? Until you can figure out, like, what it is that you need. That's been a lot of it lately that I've been getting from Spirit, is the solitude. Let's see if there's any more messages. I'm feeling, my whole body feels a chill right now, so I feel like there's something else Spirit wants to say, so give me just a minute. Breathe in white light healing. Breathe out that which no longer serves you. Just breathe in and breathe out. Work with some breathing exercises. I'm hearing work with the dragon's breath, where you're breathing out like you're keeping your mouth shut like this, you know, but you're going, you know, work with your breathing, getting centered, getting focused, and like writing those things out and getting playful about it, taking the time alone to get playful about it, right? Because some things have to change. This says true wisdom and making good choices in life. You're the only one who can choose. This is your life. You have to take control of it now. You know, I've been working through a lot of dark stuff that I really did not want to face. I did not want to look at. I did not want to see. But you know what? I pulled my rebel out. I pulled my I call her my Southside Chicago Kelly. You know, I pulled her out, right? I needed her badass. I needed her to be like, fuck you, fuck. I need to scream a lot. I needed to, you know, I had a incident last week where I just needed to go outside and just scream fuck. And it was actually really funny. I was telling my friend, because I'm like, I live against, like a huge hill, and there's all these trees around us. And so I went outside and I was like, fuck! And I screamed it, and all of a sudden I heard, fuck, like it echoed, and I laughed. It made me laugh on the way back. I got it out, and then it made me laugh on the way back, because I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, let's start over. And funnily enough, actually, after that was like when, like the next day was when my landlord asked us, to leave by the end of October. And she, was saying like, it's not a punishment. She's like, I had told her before, all this stuff happened with my partner, when I started taking care of him, that I was going to move out, and so she was just kind of like being like, you know, kicking me out like the baby bird out of the nest. She was like, you were going to move out before this happened. She's like, go. This is not the right place for you. You're miserable in Big Camper. She's like, you know, you need to move on. And she was right. It's like, I have to take that shot. But even listening to this, it made me realize I'm going to do this with Edward. I'm going to be like, dude, let's write down 88 things. What was that again? Let me get it perfectly. We need to think of 88 outlandish ideas, either for money making or for a solution to a tricky problem, right? Because we have to move out. We don't even have rent for October, and we have to move by the end of October. And I was like, we can't think about that right now. I was like, we can't. I'm like, we have to focus. We have to focus. We have to focus. I'm like, but you start thinking about what exactly you want, how you want to do it. I'm like, I'll start thinking about it. I'm like, I'm going to put things out there again, do readings for the tribe, because it took me a while to come back, but now I'm back. It took Edward a while to heal, but now, I mean, they didn't think they said it would be at least a minimum of a month before he'd even probably be able to like really like do work again. And it's been 3 weeks, and he did a 2-hour job on Thursday, and he's doing a 2-hour job today. And I'm like, dude, with a fucking food port in his stomach, I'm like, you are a superhero. It's like we're making shit happen. I went through the dark night of my soul, at the remnants of it this last 6 weeks, like, you know, working with him and like us, like talking and fighting and crying and, you know, like, what do we want and who are we? And like, we had to get to the bottom of it. I had to get to the gook and the ick and be mad and scream fuck and be like, fuck off. And I even said to Spirit, I'm like, fuck off. Like, I can only handle so much. This place sucks right now. I'm like, I don't want to be here. I'm like, I'd rather be anywhere else. And then, and because I was over here, right? I was like in darkness and shadow, and I was just like crying and sad, but I had to go through all that. And now I'm slowly coming back into the light, and I can feel it now. And I'm realizing that I will get there. You know, you'll get there. We just have to believe, right? And we have to make good choices. And we have to take all the wisdom that we've learned, all the wisdom that we've accumulated, and keep, you know, be like Johnny Five. If you've never seen Short Circuit from the 80s, I highly recommend you watch it. That's your homework from me. And if you've seen it before, I don't care. See it again. Because I'll tell you something, seeing it when I was younger and then seeing it as an adult was a completely different experience. And there's a part where Johnny Five, where the robot's like, input, input. I want you guys to start thinking, you know, put your rebel, like, you know, you can still, this is what Spirit was trying to say to me, because lately I've been like, I feel like Southside Chicago. Kelly's been ruling the roost for a while, and I was like, I'm trying to get comfortable. I was like, I need the loving me, like I need my higher self, like the loving Lula to come back, right? Like, you know, Kelly kept me alive. That's why I'm Lula Kelly. I kept my first name as my surname when I changed my name to Tallulah Kelly, because I realized like I wasn't that person anymore. Like I said to Edward the other day, it was so random, and I said, you know, since his accident, you know, he had this huge breakthrough with these demons, and, you know, and that's coming up. I can't wait. Like, we're going to shoot that episode, but Spirit is going to tell us when and how, but stay tuned for that. But I said, I feel like your name, I go, do you feel like you want to change your name? And he's like, yes. I'm like, that's so rad. So like, there's been like these, you know, moments where like, I'm seeing like so many of us are changing, and that's beautiful. It's like Spirit wants us to be our true self, right? Like whatever that is, to be in alignment and to have balance, right? Of the light and the dark, so that we can like walk through this path as the light warriors, as this, you know, the light workers, spirit warriors that we are. If you're in this group, you're a panda warrior, right? Like look up panda bear spirit medicine. That's why we were named that. Look up warrior, look up panda bear warrior. Like there's just so much to be said about that, and like what panda bears can endure. You know, they're one of the only few bears, you know, that, I mean, they literally evolved to eat bamboo, which is like one of the hardest, like, just research panda bears and like watch some documentaries on them. But that's who you are. You're this powerful warrior. You're a rebel, and that's what got you this far. And you're a warrior, but it's like, not all warriors are meant to fight, you know, with blood and bone and with swords drawn, right? Like some of us are meant to fight in a different capacity. So they're saying like, you know, reinvent yourself. The invention is you. Like, who are you? You're starting at the beginning. Who are you? Who am I? Like in Zoolander. And he's like, I don't know, right? That's another one. Watch Zoolander if you want to get really good laughs. Okay, so watch Short Circuit for acute awesomeness. And also, I saw certain things in Short Circuit where I was like, man, that is way too close to home to what's happening right now. Right? So use your wisdom, make good choices, call on the woods and the tree of life, right? Like get connected to your higher self so that you can go through this life doing, you know, grounding yourself and finding your purpose of why you are here. Like, what is your purpose? What is your gift to humanity? Maybe you have multiple gifts to humanity. But I feel like for you guys, you know, you have a lot of work ahead of you. Oh, we're going to pull one from Toad the Wet Sprocket. Let's see what our message is from Toad the Wet Sprocket. I heard somewhere in the background. Oh, somewhere in the background. Appreciate yourself and honor your soul. Can we get a... I don't know if I can get that on there. Appreciate yourself and honor your soul. You could tell I had T on there. Appreciate yourself and honor your soul. Exactly. What did you come here to do? It's okay to be pissed off. I've been like, I don't want to be here. But then I'm like, all right, you know what? I got to fucking pick up my big girl panties, put them on, and I got to fucking make this shit work. I got to do what I came here to do. I've been getting signs and messages from Spirit like crazy, like this is what you were meant to do. This is what you're meant to do. This is what you're meant to do. You know, and I have all of these things, and they're like, it's okay. Like, I was meant to go through that dark night of the soul and do all these things. Like, everything that I did was for my greatest and highest good, but I can't stay there. I can't stay in. I went through that. I learned through it, and now I'm coming back into the light, right? Like, I was in the shadow, and now I'm like coming back into the light. It's the same for you guys. When you're ready, you'll come back into the light. But for right now, brilliant new ideas. Start writing them down. And there are no stupid ideas, and nothing's weird. I mean, look at these awesome cards. Look at these cool, awesome cards. This came out of someone's brain, and how fucking awesome is that? It doesn't have to look like this world. It could be any world you want it to be. That's the whole point, Rebel. That's the whole point of why, you know. Also, it's interesting. I didn't even put this together until now, but this is number 1, right? But also, you chose number 5. Card number 5, which is about transformation and change. So it's time to like really pull that all together, my sweet rebels. Okay, so if you'd like to book some time with me, my information is below. If not, if you'd like to donate to this channel, thank you. It'll help get us to our next space, which we're very, very excited about. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I know that it's going to be awesome, because I know Spirit wouldn't bring us this far. It'd only bring us this far. So thank you for participating, and I will see you next time. I love you so much. Blessed be. Oh, bye, you guys. That's the end of the video.